Hello, hello, hello. It's Mark Atwood here, Mark Atwood Show, Adventures in the Cosmic Suit. Right, we're live on the internet. Hello. Don't know if anybody's there, but I am. And this is called From Dark to Light because 29 days ago, 29 days ago, I started a challenge run given to me by Jeremy Ayres. Jeremy's one of the co-authors of the Red Pill Revolution that's been on the show a number of times. And become a very good friend. And let's get him on actually, just to explain what did you tell me to do?
Well, assuming that we've actually got an audience, otherwise it's just you and me chatting as usual. But
yeah, we have an audience.
It's a wonderful story actually, because I've spent the better part of 30 years researching and helping people to heal from the most serious conditions imaginable, particularly last 20 years. And in the last 5, and when I met the guys of the Red Pill Revolution, all of our knowledges combined brought us up a level. And so our ability to, or my ability to help people around the world to get well has exponentiated in its success rates, and we were always at very high success rates. And so when we've become friends, and I met with you socially just before or just after Christmas or whatever it was, New Year, something like that, and I had already been toying that I had let myself not go because I felt great most of the time, but I'd noticed things, particularly weight, that I'm doing too much work in front of this screen. I'd put on weight and I'm getting everyone well, but I'm potentially moving into all those markers where I won't be so well in the future. And what really did it was my knees started aching, and I went, stuff this. I'm 53 in March and I don't want to start feeling like an old man. Then you came around and, I saw you, and, you to be honest, to my eyes, I'd seen you looking better, and that wasn't one of them. And so I spoke to Natalie, my darling wife. I said, listen, I'm really thinking about doing a strict protocol that I put my clients on, which I haven't done for years, but I want to ask Mark, but I'm kind of scared. I was scared because I almost didn't want the accountability, but I reached out to you and you went, hey, perfect timing. I want to do this with you. I'm scared as well, you said. And then from that, we said, well, maybe some people want to do it with us. And we're 30 days in, and we've got all these amazing people at differing degrees of where they are in the protocol, but certainly some already having tremendous success. And here we are talking about it, and it's just growing and growing and growing. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, well, I didn't expect. I think it's nearly 400 people that have joined us, and I just want to thank.
We were hoping for 50, right, just to join us, and
I was just looking for moral support.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, I've invited some of those people along. Let's. They're in the waiting room, so let's pull some in. Hello, Linda. Hello, Sean. Hello, Felicity.
Hello.
Hello, Vanita. Hello, Lauren. Hello, Mags. We've got Alan in the waiting room, but he's not got a camera on, so I'm not pulling him in yet.
Hey, guys.
Hello, guys. How are you? We've just done Jeremy's just spoken for an hour and a half, not me, doing our regular Sunday Q&A. I'll just explain to the audience that we did it all in a bit of a rush. And basically what we did is that we're just taking people along for the ride with us, which is pretty hardcore, but actually not that difficult. It just means, I mean, if you told me a month ago, no alcohol, no bread, only eat at a certain time, have red lights all around your house and all that kind of stuff, I'd have been amazed that I'd have got this far. But I'm actually, it's going along at a rapid pace. And what Jeremy and I are doing is like daily, when possible, video blogs. Jeremy's doing a 1.5 hour Q&A. We've also got a Telegram group that's packed full of people, and Jeremy's like this all day answering everybody's questions.
I mean, the key to success is that, I've written a protocol document, a long one, and then a condensed one. But the long one gives so much information that is very logical and links to videos and interviews that back it up, so that people are already, I mean, that's 30 years of knowledge in that, to give them a strong foundation of why I'm suggesting you do this, and all these things, as opposed to if you're just coming to the show, oh my God, he's just told me I can't do it. No, it's an education. You're all grown-ups. You can do whatever you want. But these good people, and it's very high quality people, I have to say, that I've been aware of at least, have read and understood, and it makes sense. And if we don't make sense of what's causing dis-ease or causing people's problems, we can't really explain the remedies. And so and of course, these good people can speak whether I'm talking rubbish or not, but as it starts to make sense, it empowers why you're doing it, and then you get the experience from doing it, and then it really gets exciting and really quite magical, I think.
Well, I mean, we've called it maximize the light in your cosmic suit. Do you want to just, before we start talking to people, Moni, you're in the show now, by the way, just to let you know.
Oh, no.
I don't know if you do that. Oh, somebody's just dropped out. Before we talk to everybody, could you just explain what maximize the light actually means?
Yeah, for sure. It's a good question. Well, most people still aren't aware that the real cutting edge research out there, particularly by the Russians, is in your body's ability to hold light. The Russians have actually developed a camera that it can see where you're leaking light, and that's the earliest diagnostic detection that has ever come up with. And therefore, you could say that that is the beginnings of physical dis-ease, because that's where the word comes from, not at ease, settling into the body. Because, you know, as you go through the course, and if you've listened to me, you'll realize that really all dis-ease, or most of it, starts at the mental, emotional trauma level, and then the toxicity and so on and so forth. But we'll talk about it maybe later. So light is at the cutting edge. Now, many of your followers and many, quote unquote, awakened people out there are talking about ascension and light beings. But the science is catching up with the Eastern philosophies and the movement of energy and harmonics and the ability to hold light. And so when I said to you, really, my entire 30 years work, you know, which was catapulted forward when I was mentored by Barbara Wren, who wrote a brilliant book called Cellular Awakening, which essentially is about holding light, is about people realizing that everything that the quote unquote cabal, bad guys, corporate psychopaths, whatever you want to call them, have done is to lower your body voltage as a sort of electrical being, so that you can't hold light, because you need a high voltage to hold electrons, to hold photons, which are a unit of light, and that is dis-ease. And if you happen to be very unwell, or even chronic conditions, you're unlikely to progress with a protocol unless it is aiming to shift your voltage and the ability to hold on light. And I think people are already feeling much brighter, lighter after just 30 days. And I always ask for 90, because it's quite a roller coaster in the first 90 days. But at the end of that, even the most serious clients I take on, they've usually turned significant corners in 90 days. But I want to hear what people have to say, because I might be talking rubbish.
Well, no, I mean, that's a good introduction. I mean, I've been at it 30 days. It's been an emotional roller coaster, actually. Because you have to let go of a lot of things. I mean, this is like subtracting things from you so that your body can get to work on itself properly. And it's all recorded in the members area, and there's a link below the video if anybody you want to go and have a look at it. But let's start with Sean. Hi, Sean. Where are you from?
Hi, I'm in Colorado, United States, living at about 10,000 feet. So I'm, as I mentioned before, in the nosebleed section of the country.
And
do you want me to just start telling my story?
Yeah, I mean, how many? Yeah, do that.
Okay, here we go. I'll start it. So day 28, I came in as vegetarian for the most part for the last 18 months. During this time of COVID, I have been trying to clean myself up, finding as much light as I can, doing my own means, whether it be grounding or anything like this. But Jeremy, your program is what literally brought around the physicality for me to bring in this light. And from the physical side now, everything else is absolutely blooming. So I'm doing a full carnivore diet. It has taken a little bit for me to change the brain of everything I've ever learned and try to toss everything out the door and get back to eating animal meats. But I feel unbelievably fabulous. I guess I can say from a physical side, I've lost 14 pounds in the 28 days. I had some SI joint issues in both hips that have completely cleared up in the first 3 weeks. I had a little bit of a tennis elbow thing seeming to go on. That's already gone. My sleep was all off, and it's getting better. It's definitely better, but I still have some things to work on in that arena. I was a 30-year pot smoker and a long-time alcohol drinker and enjoyed life to the realms and all that entertainment world. And I can say after 28 days, I don't have any cravings for any of that. And that's been a really nice change of pace mentally. So growing from the physical side, because that's really just the minimal bit of this for me. On a mental side, my brain has absolutely been clearing up. I find myself not wanting to be in front of the computer doing the 3D work anymore. So I'm trying to figure out how to balance that because it's still all on the computer. Dang it. And I'm actually really learning not to beat myself up in this program. You listen to Jeremy. He's got very good information. You'll get off track and then you don't beat yourself up. You go, okay, moving on. Move it on to the next hour. It's not even the next day. You literally can just move on to the next hour. So that's been brilliant for me. And just quickly, my last two things on the emotional side, total roller coaster, bringing up stuff that I've kept buried with all that fun entertainment for a long, long time. And so working through all of that, as I'm working through it, and I noticed this during COVID, those that aren't on necessarily the same wavelength, relationships are kind of changing, and just the friends, family, whatever it is. And I just have been starting to get my own voice more and my own confidence that, of course, groups of people that are trying are coming together now. And so that's great. And then finally, if I can, the spiritual side has been unbelievable. So I was tapping into that for the last year and a half, and probably the last 6 months, 5 months of 2021, it got really heavy. And I felt like I wasn't getting it anymore. And then as soon as I started doing your program, and I'm telling you, like within a week of doing your program, my abilities came back, my own intuition, my connection with spirit. It's absolutely been beautiful. I know I'm working through a bunch of stuff, and I know I'm healing family generational lines as well as healing myself. And I should have listed myself first there. I know, Jeremy. I know I'm working on it. But yeah, no, this has been fabulous, and the support is unbelievable. So Jeremy is just a slew of information, can tell you about anything, help you through anything, and then you have people to back you up in the process. So forever grateful. This was literally divine intervention for me this month.
Well, we might as well end the show there.
We're done.
Yeah, because I need to go off camera and cry for a bit.
Yeah.
But would you agree, Sean? I don't know if I don't know the answer to this, but when you first came across the protocol that I've written, which is 30 years of knowledge condensed, you would have had what the fuck moments, because would you agree that stuff I put was like, what, really? And
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, but with the links, it probably resonated. And so you decided, and pretty much everything I've said in general, because I can only work generally in the group, has, for example, emotional stuff and things has started to happen. So my 30 years experience has been right and correct with your progression.
It's right and correct. And it's interesting on how many of these things I knew maybe when I was in my early 20s, and I wanted to work on it that way. And then systems literally make you stop thinking that you know what you're talking about. And so I fell into that. And your document, which I have to read over and over, and there's so much information that you can't just read it once. And it's a great reference point constantly. So well done.
Thank you. That's why I've written it. It is a roadmap. It's constantly, and what you'll find, and you might agree, is when you go back to it, you see things you didn't see before because you're kind of ready for it.
Well, and you're getting clearer. So as you get clearer, you can accept more things and bring in more things. And as you do read those, again, you can't do everything at once. So do what you can. Don't beat yourself up, and keep instituting more things in as you can bring them in.
Well, I'm just a bit disappointed you haven't mentioned our video diaries, but otherwise that's great.
Well, those are about the best comedy going in any kind of entertainment format. So, no, you guys are very encouraging and real people. You're real people with big hearts.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. Thank you, Sean. Who wants to chip in next, guys? I've got a load of you there. Who wants to go next?
Vanita has her hand up.
Vanita looks like she's
I do.
moving.
Hi. I think I'm crashing the show. I didn't know I was. I didn't know this.
Oh,
was
you're one of the groupies. Well, you're in now, so just
I
make
am.
it look good.
Are you on the maximize your light course?
I am.
Oh right. Well, you're not crashing anything.
Absolutely.
You're
But
welcome.
I didn't know. I thought maybe it was a sign up thing or something. I didn't know. Okay.
No, we're live on the internet. There's no pressure.
Okay. Anyway, I'm having a great time. I wasn't unfamiliar with all the things that you guys are doing. I'm just going into it more deeply. And I have to say that we had a blizzard here yesterday. I'm in New England in the US. I'm in Maine, and it's really sunny right now. And I'm sitting here and I really want to be outside. So that's new because it's hard to be outside in the cold, So yeah, I'm encouraged and inspired, and I laugh at you guys, and you keep me going.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's
Thanks,
because
Lisa.
we're professionals.
Yeah.
It's called. We're thinking of calling it by the seat of your pants, but yeah, well, it's just amazing to hear from you guys and actually chat to you because like we're in such a rush most of the time. So to get you on. And would you recommend other people? Have you told other people? Has anybody mentioned?
No, I haven't told anybody. It's just a big secret.
No, this is an interesting thing because people have been.
No, I tell everybody.
Yeah, people have been keep saying to me, "Oh, you look well. You lost weight," and I'm like, "Yes, because I'm doing this thing." And
no,
they're like,
I tell everybody about new. Yeah, I tell everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I've lost 20 pounds in the first 30 days. So that's half of where I want to get to. So, it's amazing, really, isn't it? And I was feeling great before I started, but compared to what I am now, it's just, as we said at the very beginning, not of this broadcast, but you're the same. And that's why I reached out to you. We do so much in life, and we've been doing so much for so long to try and bring humanity back into this benevolent state where we're going to do amazing things. And as I say, we're going to build back better, but without them. And I think you'll know who them is. That we fall, before we know it, we're in a place where we didn't think we'd be. And that's what initiated all of this, because this year coming, you're going to need a lot of light and a lot of energy and a lot of grounding and integrity to get through what's coming. And then we will start rebuilding things the way they ought to be. So that was really the premise of it. And, I love what Sean said about spirituality, that she put it in at the end, because it is out there that, and by the way, the 4 dietary choices, including a plant-based, I can only say, as we do in the introduction video, that after 3 years of using high-fat carnivore diet as the dietary protocol for those who will do it, I just see miracles. And that's my duty, is to share that with you, even if it upsets you. But there is plant-based and there is low carb, high fat, and then a bit of in between with low oxalate vegetables. But, I've gone full carnivore in an eating window, and, it's just miraculous. But the spiritual side I was getting to is, I find as you remove the challenges to the body and give it what I believe is the species specific diet, nutrient dense, your voltage goes up and you can hold more light. And what does that really mean? You reconnect with the matrix, with the universal internet, God, whatever you want to call it. It's called enlightenment, mont meaning the brain, the mind. But everything they've done is to cut that off from you. And so you people get into a very dark place. And in my experience, and I'm sure there's people out there that it's not the case, but in my experience, I have found that the plant-based, particularly the rigid plant-based people, are some of the least spiritual people that I've had the fortune to engage with, because they speak spiritual stuff, but I found them to be very angry, very dogmatic, and certainly I haven't seen this spirit that I want to see, that I see in people that eat animal products. They become happy, their depressions go. Look up Brett Lloyd, who was depressed, suicidal for 36 years. I just see nothing but positives and more light. Now, if you're out there and you're a vegan and you're doing well, or plant-based and doing well, great. Absolutely great. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I don't know how you're doing it, but great. But I've had lots and lots of plant-based people come to me that knew what they were doing in terrible states of mental and physical health. And therefore, you know what? It would be so much simpler if I could talk about juicing and growing your own vegetables and da-di-da-di-da. It would be so. I haven't picked this to pick another controversial subject. It just happens to be, turns out it is true. Yeah.
Well, you know, Mags, you've been on this for a month now, right?
Yes.
How's it going for you?
It's going really well. It's been challenging with some of the protocols, like changing my eating window from sunrise to 2 p.m. and then stopping. I've done, fasting before this with Mark and Jeremy, but this is different, and it's interesting. I'm still managing, the sunrise to 2 p.m. It's just odd because I used to like eating and drinking at night time. So I would go all day without eating anything, and then I would eat in the evening time. So it's working fine. I'm sleeping really, really well, although I haven't changed my lighting yet, which is another part of the protocol. But I have sent away for some new bulbs. So as you can hear from my accent, I'm from Scotland, but I actually live in the Channel Islands.
Which one?
And Guernsey.
Guernsey, right? Yeah, I dislocated a finger there once.
You talk about the sleep, Mags. That is a fun. When we talk about circadian rhythms and that the body is entirely driven by light, when people's sleep starts to change, that's a significant progress. Has anything else improved, like your weight? And then I do know you did a liver flush, and I do want you to speak in some context about that, if you're happy to.
Yeah, sure. What was the first thing you said?
Has your weight changed?
Oh, yeah. So I have lost 11 pounds in that
So that's
time.
11 pounds. What has Jeremy lost?
20.
I've lost 9. So I'm just doing a running total so we can do a total weight loss at the end.
6. I've lost 6.
6.
I was 16.
16. Okay. Anybody else?
Oh, 11.
11.
Yeah.
And 10. Somebody said 10.
And Monique, and this is
I hear you, Lauren. You're very quiet.
Yeah, so I've done
Monique's trying to gain weight, not lose
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
so
but
I've
that's
done
the
the
beautiful
reverse
thing.
with the same diet. I've put 3.5 kilos on in 3 weeks.
Ooh.
And that's significant for you because you've struggled to
Absolutely.
put weight for years, right?
Yeah, and between the rest of us, we've lost about 70 pounds in a month. Not bad, is it?
So, can I just say
Yeah,
about,
go ahead, Mag.
like eating meat and like I'm having some dairy, and I've still got the program in there that, oh God, this is going to be too much, like the calories in, calories out. But I know it's not about that, but sometimes I'm like tentatively eating some things with fat because of my programming, obviously. But I'm slowly believing that eating this way, I will have the body I've always wanted. I've tried every diet ever. I've tried them all, and I know this is the one that'll work. I know that fasting works, and I know that I've done intermittent fasting before, and I've done it on my own. I have done it without the support of this group, but I just feel this time, it's 3 months we're going to be with you, and I always seem to get stuck at 6 weeks fasting, and then I would get stuck and I had blocks or whatever was going on, and then I would just start eating all the crap again. But I feel that I'm getting much more knowledge. We've got the Jeremy and Mark doing the daily vlogs, and we've got the Telegram group, which is brilliant. There's so much support there, and get other people to talk out your problems with if you have any. But yesterday was the new moon. No, 2 days before the new moon. You can start doing the liver cleanse 2 days. Is that right, Jeremy?
Yeah, 2 days
2
either
days
side of the new moon.
either side of the new moon. So I'd forgotten, and I was like, I really wanted to do it, but I hadn't done the prep. And Jeremy had said in the thread that you actually don't need to do the prep. You can just go for the protocol, for the day of the explosion.
Yeah, we call it
Armageddon.
So I did my apple cider vinegar in the morning, and then at 2 o'clock I stopped eating. Then at 6 o'clock I took my first Epsom salts. Then I took my second one at 8 o'clock. So I had some rumblings going on. So I went to the loo, and that just gets rid of everything within quite a short time, actually. And then I took the salad dressing drink. You'll all see what that is in the protocol if you join us. And I went to bed and I slept. I did wake up a couple of times, but I just went back to sleep again. And this morning I took my first Epsom salt drink, and then it started. So obviously we're trying to get rid of gallstones, and I was absolutely astounded how many there was. I really did. I'm like, I probably won't have any. But there was hundreds.
And it's why you've had troubles
hundreds.
before. It's why you reach your 6 week plateau.
Yeah.
You would lose weight, but it's also your emotions are in there as well. So old behavioral things are triggered, but the getting the liver and gallbladder clean, and most on the course won't. And even particularly Americans, they've had all the testing. Oh, no, nothing wrong with my liver. And I go, okay, I think it is. I think it's clogged. And we get them doing a liver flush once a month on a new moon. And like you, they can't believe what comes out. And then they feel way better or way lighter. And normally we do 3, so 1 a month. And with really serious cases, 6, or maybe more sometimes. And I just continually see, as part of the protocol, tremendous progress with people.
Well, Felicity's had quite a lot of progress, haven't you, Felicity?
Yeah, I have. I've written notes because I forget things. But talking about the weight loss, like I lost 11 pounds in 18 days, and I've plateaued there, but I have lost about 2.5 to 3 inches all around. So that's pretty good.
Can I just say that, Felicity, that's a really important point, because why I've asked you to weigh and measure your thighs, all the dressmaking measurements, is because sometimes weight appears to plateau, but actually your body is changing quite dramatically. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, I can see that when I look in the mirror. I've got a waist. Yay. Anyway, I've noticed, because like I live in an old house, so it's got stairs to go upstairs and stairs to go down in the basement, and I've noticed that not only are my legs stronger, but my knees are better, because I used to have a really rough time with my knees. So, and even the swelling on one knee's gone down. So I don't know if that was like an osteoarthritis type thing. But and also my knuckle on my right hand had been enlarging and clicking. Like if I move my finger, it would click. But that's gone right down to almost normal. So higher energy levels, like as you know, I live in Saskatchewan, Canada, and it's frigging cold and lots of snow, but have been getting out walking when I can. But I've noticed now when I went for 2 walks yesterday, and I'm walking faster, which is really good. higher energy levels, and also feeling lighter in myself too, mood-wise. And I know, like, coming up for the new year, I was thinking I've got to lose weight. I've got to do something because I feel like crap. And I've been there, done it, and I thought, oh God, like more fasting. I don't think I can cope with that. So thanks to you two, you're my saviors, because I didn't want to do it. I signed up thinking I really should do this. I think I really need to be there, but I don't really want to. But I'm loving it. Like, and also from like past programming, you know, I've done the raw vegan thing. I think I sent Mark a whole bunch of recipes at one time. And so all the programming of listening to all these doctors saying, oh, you mustn't eat fat and do this and do that. And I kind of went from the carnivore and a few vegetables to full carnivore, and I absolutely love it. And I'm finding, like, you know, when you make beef broth, you've got like a ½ inch or so of fat on the top. And the first sip of that was kind of, oh, I don't know, but I just love that now. I can down it. No brain fog, so easier thinking, and getting more accomplished in the day, because, you know, you get fed up of doing housework and stuff and all these odd jobs that need doing, like tidying out cupboards. And at the start of this, I had so much energy. I was going in and doing all these horrible jobs that you don't really like to do, but I had the energy to do it, and then feeling good about that. And also my legs, like the bottom half of my legs, would be really dry skin and flaky, and that's all gone away. All my skin has got better, like more elastic and not dry. And also I had across my chest here, I had like lumps of cellulite that looked absolutely disgusting. Well, they've all gone, like all that across here is gone. And then I have got it like on my legs, but those going down too, and obviously everywhere else. But I'm thrilled about that, because I know that the toxins store in the fat as the cellulite. So I also do, on the cellulite, I also do dry skin brushing, because that moves the lymph and that helps to get rid of cellulite.
It would be fair to say you're growing younger.
I am. I'm going younger, going the other way. And also, like, I wasn't sleeping too bad, because I got the pyramid in the bedroom, and that kind of helps, if anybody knows about the pyramid. But since we started, like, I do sleep better, deeper, although dreaming, but I get up more rested and awake. Just laughing at the cat. She's attacking my plant. So, and I used to get really bad headaches, and like they'd start from up here in the shoulders, either one side or the other, the pain, and it'd go up my neck, and then I'd get like a full-blown headache across the eyes, and that's gone. So I'm assuming that was just all the toxins.
Well, that's a very liver gallbladdery picture, but there's never been a headache or migraine I haven't been able to help, ever.
Yeah. Well, I think I read somewhere that like the muscles here at the top of the shoulders are to do with liver. Is that correct?
Well, it's referred pain. It's just the blood is getting, let's say, dirtier, because the liver's not doing a good job, and the brain takes a fifth of all the blood. And so when the brain starts, it's just like if you got a hangover, right? It has to bring in water to swell it, to dilute it, and then you get pressure, and you get migraines and pressure headaches and so on and so forth. It's very linked with insulin and high insulin from lots of starches and carbohydrates and sugars. But you're doing absolutely fantastic, Felicity. No more trips to Timmy's and little Timbits.
Oh no, I don't do Timmy's anyway. Like no. But I did cut out, like I have cut out, of course, coffee, which I was drinking. I could drink a pot of that in the morning, and cut out the bread and the sugar and all that lot. So all I'm doing is the meat and I'll throw mushrooms in and onions, garlic, that type of thing. I think I've covered everything except that Sean reminded me about the meditation, because like I used to be big into meditating and channeling and doing all this painting and all this, that and the other. And I got a bit deflated with things and stopped doing that. But I could always meditate and lead meditation groups in guided meditations and have fantastic ones. And I kind of found about, 6 months ago, I didn't feel like I was actually making that connection to do the meditation. But now I am, and getting intuition coming back. So I'm very happy about that.
That's fantastic. Well done.
I think I've covered everything.
It's a big list.
It was a big list. That's why I made notes, because I kind of get scrambled, forget about things.
This is what we're going to see. You know, it's not just, oh yeah, I've lost a bit of weight. You will probably hear, because I hear it all the time with my clients, oh, this is cleared up, that's gone, this is changing. So, this is what we expect to hear. So really good job, Felicity. Well done.
Thanks. Awesome.
Thanks, Felicity. Linda,
Thank
you keep popping in and out. Let's hear from you.
I can do it. Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, my phone was dying, so I had to find a power cord. So, sorry for the distraction.
No worries.
I'm like Benita. I had no idea I was going to be on here. So, hello.
Hello. Welcome to my show.
Thank you. It's been wonderful. I've only been on this for 16 days. I've been doing baby steps. And the first day, I did fine. I just pure carnivore. The second day, I had a massive headache the whole day. And I just had to go home and go to bed after I worked. Saturday, the next day, I was fine. I haven't had any headaches since. I eat a good carnivore breakfast. I've been really enjoying tea. I was an avid coffee drinker, so it's no caffeine, just tea, water. And what I've noticed significantly, I'm 10 pounds down, maybe more now, because that was as of last Tuesday. But I'm a house cleaner, and so very physical work. But I don't have the achiness that I used to have. I feel like the energy level has definitely increased. And I've been in a position of needing to lose it for a long time. And so, but this is really, really encouraging, and the support group is wonderful. You can just hop on Telegram at any time and just be uplifted and be encouraged, and your Q&As are great. And I love the daily between you and Jeremy, and it's just really, really helpful and supportive. And I couldn't be more happy. And I have I don't foresee any problem continuing this. It's really been, I hate to say easy, because I know there's going to be some tough parts, but so far it's been.
We're only a few weeks in.
Yeah, I know. So I'm kind of nervous about what's to come.
That's what cracks me up. It's not even a month.
Imagine what, if you've had benefits in the first 30 days, even the first 15, imagine 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great to hear that, Linda.
If I can just add something, I have a son. I have 4 kids, but 2 of them are out of the house, 2 are still home. And my one son, I was telling him what I was doing, and he was just like, pardon my language, but this is how he talks. He goes, "Fuck yeah, Mom, you're doing like the powerlifter diet. That's awesome." So it's nice to have the support of your family too.
Well, that is one of the big problems, because I bought like 400 tins of mackerel at the start of this, and my son's stealing them all now, and he's walking around the house with a 6-pack, and I'm like, okay, all right. Right, we're gonna get Lauren in, because Lauren's on. Thank you, Linda. How you doing, Lauren? No, can't hear you. We have a microphone problem with Lauren. Don't know what that is. Oh, sorry,
Lauren, you might need to do what I did in the beginning and we'll go to someone else. I had to click the cam mic button and change my microphone and audio because we can't hear you.
Look, not only does he give great health advice, he does IT support. Who knew?
You know, we just do everything. Catering and bar mitzvahs.
Yeah, Lauren, at the bottom of StreamYard, there's a cam/mic button. Looks like a gear wheel. Go there and change your thing. Let's go to Monique.
Yeah, while Lauren's sorting that out.
Hello.
So, Monique, you helped us run the course, and then you decided to join it, and it's been. How's it going for you?
So
about every day.
I guess about 3 days in, I decided to join you guys, and I went pretty much hardcore carnivore straight away. Never had any issues eating meat anyway. So, although I played around with a bit of vegetarian and vegan stuff in the past, but never really got on with that. So, you know, it was a balanced diet before this. But anyway, jumped in whole carnivore. Now, I have to be honest, I'd spent 30 days prior to that already clearing out my system with somebody else before I jumped on this and then decided to go all meat. And it's been amazing. I mean, you know, like I said earlier, 3.5 kilos, which is just under eight pound actually. I figured it out after I said it earlier. I've put on, which was part of my goal because I'd lost an awful lot of weight due to stress and all the rest of it. I'm more productive, which is a good thing for you too.
Yep, no complaints here.
I'm definitely clearer and so that's all great. Unfortunately, my biggest challenge is the circadian rhythm reset, and that's still escaping me. I mean, I've been a night owl my entire life. I'm trying to kind of bring my going to bed and therefore getting up times forward by about half an hour a day. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Kind of depends on how busy I am, which Jeremy will tell me off for in a minute. But it's been absolutely amazing. And the results are there with the people who are on it too, right? It's just brilliant.
I think you'll agree the Q&A every Sunday is one of the most loved aspects of it because the explanations I give hopefully are very broad and deep and thorough. Would you agree, Monique?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. It's a full reference guide to everything that could possibly be wrong with you, that this is helping, and with lots of testimonials from people all the time throughout the Q&As as to how it's already helping them. And your video diaries are great too, because there on a daily basis, you're giving all of us on the course an idea of what we might come across, and they're very funny, right? Two comedians on screen together. So yeah, I mean, great job. Thank
you. Now the vlogs, I mean, when Mark and I decided to do this, you know, we said, which isn't a problem because, you know, our integrity is everything. But we said, right, we do this, and if we do it public, we're going to be honest and real. And, you know, even if we fall off the wagon or screw up. And so there's some adult humor. I mean, nothing gross, but, you know, it's for grown-ups. And, you know, but there is always, I find, a blend of natural humor. Mark and I have a great chemistry, I find, wisdom and honesty, and then maybe something else in there as well. But it's been working really well. I actually look forward to it every day myself, and I'm as busy probably as Mark is throughout the day. And I have to say, Monique, you know, and also Mia in the background that we don't see much of, but they do such amazing work that makes Mark and I look better than we probably are, because they're constantly doing stuff to make this look seamless. But it's a lot of work. like with the Telegram group, when I wake up, I go, oh my God, how many messages from last night from the Australians and the New Zealanders and you know, so I'm trying to answer those in, you know, accurately, and I go away and I'm trying to come back every hour. Yeah. And then even up to going to bed, I'm trying to answer the last ones to keep ahead of it. And it's all great stuff. And Monique, I sincerely thank you for your efforts in the background.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I want to, you know, there are some comments as usual. I mean, I've been talking about all sorts on this channel for a couple of years. Satanic ritual abuse, the Queen's a lizard, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say the other subjects because I want the video to stay up. But the most controversial subject in terms of feedback from people in comments, you know what it is, Jeremy?
Yeah, I know what it is. And that's why I've said that, you know, it would be so much easier if I could just talk about the positive attributes of a plant-based diet. And but I can't, because I see all these people getting unwell at some point, depending on how young or healthy they were when they started and how much body fat. And if they're in a tropical, they tend to do better for longer. But as I said, this what I find is that that offends, and I'm not being offensive, but that offends them usually, and they become very aggressive, which is what I see. Now, this is my point, and this protocol is far more than dietary options. But I am at the coalface, so to speak, of helping people recover their health. And most of the people that come to me one-to-one are unbelievably unwell and very frequently have been given no hope, and very often have been destroyed by medical intervention as well. And I have never seen so much improvement so quickly as when the dietary option becomes animal-based products. Now, I have a duty to share that, my experience, even if it upsets you. Now, if you're doing really well, vegan, raw vegan, fruitarian, plant-based, vegetarian, what have you, honestly, great. You know, I mean, that's all I can say. Great. I don't know quite how you're doing it, because I can tell you I've had very knowledgeable plant-based vegans and so on as clients, and I know the rhetoric, they weren't doing it or whatever, but that's not been the case. And there's plenty on this course that were that way. And you're grown-ups. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm teaching you what I have experienced, and 30 years is quite a lot of knowledge. And I consistently, and I mean, Mark knows my success rates, I consistently see people heal, and that's what my job is. You can do whatever you wish, and I just ask for the courtesy that you give that same to everybody else. I've heard all the arguments against it, and that's okay. And people have said, "Oh, you should go on and debate vegan gains." I'm not interested in debating vegan gains. He'll throw up all these studies, and he'll probably win in a debate, and yet I'll go away and then continue healing people. The studies out there are nonsense for the better part. It's scientism. They really aren't properly evidence-based, and we will see studies, and they've already begun coming out in the next 10, 20 years, but I'm really not interested in that. I'm interested in getting people well based on ancestral ways. And the closer we get to introducing ancestral ways, which is way more than diet, the quicker we see people heal, not just heal, thrive.
That's what it is. Yeah. And it's worth pointing out to everybody watching that this is not a course like you must do this, you must do that, and it's laid out. It's like, these are the principles, and it's an immersive experience. You know, I took the challenge from Jeremy and decided to be public about it, because I've been running on adrenaline for at least 2 years, if not longer. I've had years, my body's had years and years of abuse, but I'm still here. And like Jeremy said, there's the work that those of us that are awake are going to have to do in the rebuilding of this place means that we've got to be in the best shape we possibly can be. And maybe in the fifth dimension, there is no meat eating. But right now, you put that in front of us and you put together the protocols. It does take, it's an immersive experience. You know, you don't necessarily have to start everything on day one, but if you click, there's a link, tmas.tv/maximize the light. It's in the description. It's on the screen. It's in the chat. That is where it explains how you can join in. and there's no reason why anybody couldn't do it. It's not expensive, and it's an immersive experience. It's not like ABC, follow this, thanks for your money, see you later. We're putting a lot into this, and
A lot.
and we're trying to pull. That's why we're doing shows like this, even though we're only 30 days into it, because just look at the list that Felicity gave you. Look at the amount of weight people have lost, and listen to what people are saying. We've not half the people on this show right now didn't even know they were coming on the internet.
Yeah, and look, it's really important that this really is about understanding philosophies of healing and principles, and then deciding for yourself. You're all grown-ups what you're going to do. All I've ever asked people to be is honest. And in my experience, and that's all I can speak on, is that the plant-based, so we see how it always goes back to diet, and yet the protocol, as you all know, is way more than just what you put in your gob, right? Or your mouth for the Americans, right? But in my experience, which is all I can speak on, is those plant-based or vegans or what have you that have come to me very unwell, where they've had very often catastrophic health failures. They admit to me that they were not telling the truth during their plant-based days, and they were telling people they might have had channels, or they might have been with a partner or whatever, or in plant-based groups, and they would be saying they're doing really well, and they weren't, because there's this whole fear. I have found, this is my experience, there's a big fear based of actually saying, I'm not doing so well, my gut is still really bad, or whatever it is, right? And if you then start to entertain eating any animal-based foods, and it's normally fish, in my experience, they are attacked with great vigor and nastiness. That is what I see, and I think that's not right. When someone's mentioned in the comments about, I think it's blood type. No, it's not. That's rubbish. It's about your digestive system and what your physiological and anatomical digest system is really about. And yes, I've seen those other arguments, but I'm convinced that we're the only animal that doesn't know what to eat on this planet, and I'm convinced that it is animal products and seasonal fruit. When you're well, but you need to subtract that to the seasonal fruits. Yes, you can do some vegetables when you're well cooked, and our ancestors learned to ferment and to cook vegetables so it would break down the cells so you could digest it. So again, if you're thriving truly on a plant-based, great. And if you want to talk about the spiritual aspects, you've got to talk about the circle of life, and that everything on this planet is eating or being eaten at one point or another. Nothing actually wants to be eaten. And of course, I agree with anyone where any form of animal cruelty or suffering is abhorrent. But our ancestors have hunted and thrived for millennia, as far as I can tell. And when I change my diet and when I put clients on that way of eating, I see them do the same. And that's good enough for me.
Yeah. Lauren, you're back. Is it working now?
Can you hear me?
Yay.
We can. Yay.
Oh, I'm so glad, because I so wanted to speak. It wasn't working on my phone, so I just switched the laptop. Thank you. Well, just firstly, I just want to say a massive thank you to you both. This is, I think, a phenomenal and, really important thing that you're doing for the world, for all of us, and no doubt that the word is going to spread. This has been life-changing for me, and I was looking for it, and I actually didn't know what it was about. I saw the title and I went, yep, that's what I want. And I knew that whatever it was going to be, it was going to be the right thing. And I'm 25 days in, and it has been transformational on every level, like Sean said, every single level, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical, my family, just everything. I mean, it does make me quite emotional, because it's just to have the support, like the community is one thing, having that community there on Telegram and being able to talk to people, having you guys there every day. It's so strange actually to talk to you right now, because I listen to you every day. You're in my life every day for the last 25 days. And Mark, sometimes twice a day if I'm listening to one of your talks.
Sorry about that.
So, you just seem so familiar at this point. But yeah, just absolutely massive appreciation and huge gratitude. So that's, just want to say that. In terms of the changes, I think it has been, for me, one of the things I think that really was so important to me. Yes, I wanted to shift weight, and yes, I wanted to let more light in and all that, but it was the addiction. So food just controlled me. Waking up thinking about food, during the day thinking about food, going to bed thinking about food, how much food I'm eating, what I'm eating, just constant control. And I'm a mom and I have kids, and so your kind of day centers around feeding them as well. But 20 years, I'd say at least, I've really suffered, and I've never been able to find an answer. I've never been able to come across or do anything that would reduce the inflammation. And even though everything I did, I kept saying, no, I know my body's inflamed. Like I just knew everything inside my body was inflamed, but I never found anything that just even touched it. And within a week of being on this protocol, and really, I mean, I'm quite disciplined, so I did really follow, the principles and everything that you laid out. Within a week, I felt the inflammation was nearly gone, which just blew me away, and obviously gives you the motivation then. And I'm on day 25. I've lost 10 kilos. I've lost 22 pounds.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, which is phenomenal. Like, it's.
So I'm on your Christmas card list.
Yeah. Oh, more than that. Way more. And my daughter, just someone said about their kids, how they can be. My mom, or my daughter was sitting on the couch today, and she looked over and she went, "Oh my God, Mom, you've got a neck." I was like, thanks. You can trust your kids to give it to you straight. But yeah, there's just so much I could say. But, really, I think, at the heart of it all, in everything that we're all going through, and all the transitions that are happening, and what's happening in our environments, in the collective consciousness, everything that's going on, this is crucial. This is preparing us for the battle we're in. This is, really bringing it home so that we can be our best selves and fulfill the potential that every one of us is here to do. So thank you.
Well, thank you. That is the crux of my life's work so far. Excuse me. I worked out that everything they were doing was to lower your voltage so that you couldn't hold light. And so you would be in a dark place with a dark thought of the future. And look at all you grinning. But I think anyone watching can see how bright you are. Would you agree, Lauren, that it's not just the inflammation, it's not just the weight, it's not just that you have a neck returning? Are you not, and please, obviously, honesty, are you not feeling more hopeful, more connected, more lighter, brighter towards the future than you were, say, 2 months ago?
100%. And actually, nobody has noticed the weight, and everybody has said, "Oh my God, what are you doing? You're like glowing. You're shining. Your eyes are sparkling. You're bright." So yeah, 100%, Jeremy.
Right. And so you can all see, I hope, that the potential for humanity, because darkness is connected with evil and light is connected with goodness or godness. So they knew what they were doing. The word evil is the word live backwards, and they've inverted everything. And so that's why it's so upsetting for so many people to understand some of these things that I teach and share, because we're talking generations sometimes now of misinformation deliberately. And so when we start to correct that, and my job is only to get you to think, because if you get to think and then act on your own volition, I believe you will come to the same conclusions that I have. And my mentors never told me to do anything. They taught me how to think. But as more light is held in this realm, whatever it is, darkness is A, exposed, and B, can't survive. And so all these terrible things that they've done, that Mark has frequently talked about, of which I support, I don't talk about them very often because this is where I'm working on people to hold light, because it will reveal that for all to see, and shocking it will be for most people. But then we've got to build it back, and we've got to make sure that it never ever happens again. And that's what this is really about. And I'm you know, I don't know how this sounds, but I'm so proud of all of you on the course. And keep going, because this isn't about me. It's about the message, and it's about bringing humanity back to humanity, to bring you back from being human doings to human beings. And then when I work with people, and I know you'll already believe this because you're experiencing it, but when you finish working with them, they are very different human beings. Usually they usually know what they can't do anymore or can't have in their life, and then it becomes clearer what direction they should be, because they reconnect with their self, their true self. And really, dis-ease is that you are not at ease with your true self, your true calling, your truth. And it's about stepping in. So a lot of people, and I know some of them are already going through it, are starting to see more clearly what they can't have in their life, or what they can't do, or who they can't be with. And it can be very challenging. But as you transition through that and your harmonics change, you're going to draw in all these amazing different experiences and people. And then what fun we're going to have doing the work of our lives, because you're all conscripted into the future work of building this realm back to what it should have been, which is benevolent and beautiful and creative and loving.
Perfectly put. Great way to end it. Everybody watching, tmass.tv/maximize the light. Full details there. You can join anytime. We're still only a third of the way through it, but everything's laid out for you. You can follow it at your own pace. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming along. It's been
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
it's
thank
been
you.
a busy Sunday. It's fantastic to hear from all of you. Thanks a lot, Jeremy. Thanks, Monique. Thanks, Sean, Felicity, Lauren, Benita, Linda, Max.
Thank you.
Gotcha. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Have a lovely evening or day, whatever time of the day it is where you are.
Thank you.